saw a werewolf with a Chinese menu in his hand, walking through the streets of Soho in the rain. He was looking for a place called Lee Ho Fooks. Gonna get a big dish of beef chow mein. Ahoo, werewolves of London. Ahoo, ahoo, werewolves of London. Ahoo. You hear them howling around your kitchen door. You better not let them in. Little old lady got mutilated late last night. Werewolves of London again. Ahoo, werewolves of London. Ahoo, yeah. Ahoo, werewolves of London. Ahoo. He's the hairy-handed gent who ran amok in Kent. Lately he's been overheard in Mayfair. You better stay away from him. He'll rip your lungs out, Jim. I'd like to meet his tailor. Ahoo, werewolves of London. Ahoo. Ahoo, werewolf of London. Ahoo. Well, I saw Long Shady walking with the Queen, doing the werewolves of London. I saw Long Shady Jr. walking with the Queen, doing the werewolves of London. I saw a werewolf drinking a pina colada, Trader Vicks. His hair was perfect. Ahoo, werewolves of London. Ahoo. Ahoo, werewolves of London. Ahoo.
Gentlemen, the great Radioactive.
Hey guys, good morning. How are you? Good afternoon, I should say. It is a little bit later than my usual start time for my show, and I usually don't do Saturdays, but I had some really cool stuff come into my mailbox this weekend. And I'm sorry, this week, and I wanted to share it with you folks. I hope you're doing good. I feel like I'm still a little orange today. Let me see if I can adjust my lighting and stuff. Oh, well, it's okay. It's all right. So, guys, we have a couple special guests today. Eddie Winkler and Eric Ninaltowski. I believe that's how you pronounce your name, Eric. They are in my green room, and I know Eric's got a family and he's got kind of some commitments today. So I want to just dive right on in and bring our guests in, and we're going to do some unboxing of things that I received from both Eddie and Eric. So we're going to start with Eric first, but I'm going to bring them both in. Hey, Eric. Good morning.
How's it going, guys? What's up, Don? Thanks for having me, man.
Are you down in Southern California?
Yes. Yeah.
That's what I thought. You were a West Coaster. How's life?
It's good. It's going good, man. The weather is heating up, and the air conditioner has been running a lot more here. So, but no, it's been nice, and yeah, all is well.
Good, buddy. So let me bring in Eddie too. Hey, Eddie. How are you?
Hey guys, nice to talk to you, Don, again, and nice to meet
see
you,
you.
Eric.
Yeah, you too, man.
Thank you. Have you guys met each other before?
No.
Not personally, but there's secret talks in
Behind the scenes.
Yeah. Some shadow talk there. Well, let's say hi to the folks that are in the chat. We have Shadow Hawk is here. Good to see you. Jim Cox is here. Hi, Jim. And Eddie, you said hi to everyone. I think that's Ginge is here. Hey, Ginge. Good to see you guys. So, Eric, let's start with you. I came across you on I think I saw you drawing on Mike Miller's channel, and I was really intrigued because I never really saw your art until then. And I said, boy, this guy's really good. And then you, I think you drew this piece for let me try to go to a full screen here so I can show what I bought from you.
He-Man. Yeah.
Is this He-Man or Thundercats?
That is He-Man, yeah. I thought you got a Thundercats from me, but that's He-Man.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so this is a piece that I got off of I think an auction stream, and yeah. I got a good deal on this. I think this was like $75, and it's totally finished and penciled and inked. But when I saw it, it reminded me of like 90s Image. So I was going to ask you who were your inspirations getting into comics?
All the early Image guys. Jim Lee was probably like my number one inspiration. I really enjoyed his artwork. It's very clean, very yeah, he's just got a very clean style. Rob Liefeld, J. Scott Campbell, all those guys, Mark Silvestri. I loved the West Coast style, all the cross hatching and just the shading they're able to get, and just the dynamics and everything. So yeah, and I got into comics right around that time, so that's just huge for me.
Did you ever go to work for anybody other than yourself?
Yeah, I've done other books for small indie people. Yeah, but yeah, this is my first book that I've launched was Shadow Sentry. So. Well,
it looks great. I think that's what you sent me was your first issue. I'm going to go ahead and share the screen and show. Would you like me to show your first campaign or your new campaign? What would you prefer?
Good question. Probably do the first one. You'll get more context. Okay,
so I'm going to go ahead and share that real quick. And I do have your video ready to go too, so we can watch that. But let me go ahead and share. I'm going to rearrange the screen so Eric can be on top and then Eddie can be in the middle. And so do you get much flack wearing a Philadelphia Eagles hat in Southern California?
No, not really. I've learned that there's a lot of people that have migrated to the West Coast from the East Coast. So there's a lot of people from Philly, New Jersey over here. So you kind of get a lot of people wearing Philly garb. It's nice.
Is that where you're from?
New Jersey. Yeah.
I'm from really? New Jersey. Really? Eddie, where are you at?
I'm in Chicago.
Chicago, of course. The Bulls.
Yeah. The Bulls.
The Bulls. So let's see here. A few more people came in and said hi. So tell us in a nutshell about Shadow Sentry, or I can play your video, and then if you want to explain and people can ask questions, whatever you prefer.
Yeah,
I'll
give you my quick elevator pitch. It's basically an X-Men meets the Matrix superhero team book with a supernatural twist. Kind of harkens back to the X-Men, but I wanted to put a little different twist with the supernatural aspect to it. But it asks the questions, what if you had a near-death experience and you came back to life and you brought a piece of the eternal with you into our realm? And so you have these people that are able to break the rules that govern our world. And I've kind of set up, two teams. You have the Hellborn and the Highborn. And they just go at it. They're kind of battling for this kid, Jason, who is the product of a Highborn and a Hellborn, having a baby. He gets lost for years. And so book 1 picks up with him. And, they're all gunning for him. And so you got this cool heaven versus hell aspect to the book.
Gotcha. Was there anything like movie-wise or anything that you read, maybe, the Bible or something that kind of inspired you to create kind of a spiritual theme?
Yeah, definitely The Matrix was a big movie that heavily influenced me. Seeing that for the first time, I was just blown away by, you have this like behind the scenes thing going on, and it's just like the veil is pulled and it's like, oh my gosh. So it creates this cool aspect to our world, and it's like to have that mindset. And so with this Shadow Sentry book, I wanted to have the same kind of deal where there's lots going on behind the scenes that we don't see and that we don't know about. And then you pull the veil and it's like, oh my goodness, you have this whole war going on. So definitely the Bible heavily influenced, just the supernatural. And, if you look in the Bible, Moses had crazy powers, Jesus and all the different prophets, they were able to manipulate our world in ways that no one else could. So, they're doing miracles, but they're changing, the laws that govern our world. And so I wanted to create a bunch of heroes that were able to do that.
Awesome. I just watched The Conjuring 3 last night with my wife. I don't know if you watched those movies, but they're very intense, and they're supposed to be based on true stories. And it's very, it makes you think about things. It's pretty creepy. Yet at the same time, if you're on the right side, you don't have anything to worry about.
Right.
One thing I think I mentioned to you just in private chat, I said, in our conversations on Twitter, I thought, have you ever seen the series Archangels that was in the 90s? And did you say you did see that, or are you kind of familiar with it?
Seen the covers, seen the artwork back in the day, probably 20 years ago now, but I never read them.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I find extra copy laying around, I'll try to send you one. I sent you, I don't know if you got my package yet. Probably not, because I just sent it a couple days ago. But I sent you X-Farce, which had the Rob Willis cover that you wanted. Awesome. But I also sent you a 3D Christian comic book that I helped distribute in the 90s. Whoa. And it had guys like Steve Furchow in it, Nestor Redondo, some guys that were pretty cool guys. So you'll get this cool 3D comic book that has a kind of a Christian theme in it. But I really admire that, going out and doing a series that's, kind of got a faith-based theme to it and so forth. But yeah, I look at your artwork and this book looks, amazing. Especially, I picked your cover, I think, what I asked you to send me. Yeah. And that is so cool.
Thanks, man.
It's just, is this your very first self-published book?
It is. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's impressive. I mean, you and Eddie are both, for rookies, way ahead of like when I started. Well, I started pretty young, like when I was in high school, but for your first campaigns, you guys are doing great. So, Eric, I was going to ask you, what's a typical day for you? Like, what do you start? What do you eat? And what do you do? Work out? You have a lot of kids. So how do you kind of structure your day to be productive?
So we wake up when the baby wakes up. My wife will feed her, and then kind of I take over from there. I let her wander around the house, and I just kind of, let her wander, have some fun, just watch her a bit. We eat breakfast. And then we like to take a walk. So I have this little pack that I put on, and she sits in the pack, and I take her for a nice walk around the neighborhood with my dogs. And so after that, she normally lays down, takes a nap at 10. And that's when I kind of hit the office, start getting to work, and usually do some emails and stuff, mess around on Twitter, and then try to, get my artwork going. And my wife works out of the house. She works at the hospital 3 days a week. So when she's working, I'm home, taking care of the kids, and then vice versa. When she's home, I can work. And so, it's all based on what's going on, what she's got going on. And, we make it work. I try and get 2 pages done a week. I was shooting for 3 with this campaign. I was only able to get 2 done a week. But, I'm really happy with what I produced. I feel like the pages are strong. They're my best work. And every page is just kind of like, all right, I like this one more than the last one. So,
yeah. Do you work kind of traditionally pen and ink, or do you work digitally?
All traditional. Yeah.
All traditional. Okay.
This is page 3 from Shadow Sentry Book 2. Kind of give you a little preview.
Yeah.
But,
let me make you big here. Beautiful.
So all pen and ink. I do some stuff with Photoshop. So this I actually inverted in Photoshop, so it's actually black with white lines. So I like to mess around with things, do halftones in there, but this is all pen and ink on paper.
Great. Do you offer your pages for sale?
I do, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's kind of the price range if people wanted to buy your work?
Probably around $400 to $500 a page.
Okay, nice. And so your book, you published this and you fulfilled this year. Is that correct?
Correct. Yep. I launched it last year in February, late February, and then I got everything printed and fulfilled in, I guess it was February, May.
Okay. So you're the writer, penciler, and inker. Is that correct?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. And then you have different variant covers like this one. And who's your colorist? Because your colors are really outstanding.
Yeah. He goes by Carbon Graphics. Really great, nice saturation, nice color palette, just makes everything pop. He's really, really good. So really happy to have him on board. He was going to do the interior colors, but just time constraints, and he's really busy. He ended up, we did like a combo where I had Kid Icarus do all the pages. He'd color the pages, and then he would come in and just kind of embellish them, add his really nice colors and add some stuff. And yeah, it came out really nice.
Nice. I'm going to post where people can reach you. You have a website, social media. I put it in here. So earlier, you have a Twitter page, and then you have a website, which is Eric Ninaltowski Art. So what can people expect if they go there?
You're going to find a commissions link. There's a store link. All my, links to social media and stuff, Instagram, Facebook, and all that. And yeah, I try and post news and new upcoming things I got going on there. But I admit I lag on that a whole lot. I kind of stick to social media. It's quicker and easier for me. But, you'll see stuff from the first campaign on there and all that. But yeah, it's a good, quick thing for links and to find me on the web and my store.
Gotcha. Eric, are you self-taught or did you go to school for this?
I did go to art college for 2 years. I went to the Delaware College of Art and Design. And, I knew I wanted to do art. I knew I wanted to do comics. And I'm from New Jersey. And funny story, I had no idea that the Joe Kubert School of Cartooning was in northern New Jersey. And, I go down south, I go to Delaware to this, little unknown art college. And, I got to say, I got a great, well-rounded education as far as, knowing photography, knowing, fine art and all that stuff. So I kind of got a good, well-rounded education versus just, comic book stuff. So I learned the computer, I learned Photoshop, so I can't complain. And then after that, years and years later, I met Mike Miller. When I moved to California to marry my wife, they had they just started the, Alias Comics. And their studio was like blocks away from my house where we were living. And so I met up with him. I showed him my portfolio. He kind of took me under his wing. And then from that, I got my first published gig working on a book called The Hand of the Morning Star.
Okay. May I ask you how old you are?
I am 38.
38. Nice, man. What do you enjoy the most out of creating comics? Do you like writing, penciling, inking? Is there anything that you really enjoy?
I think I like the creative process the most, being able to create characters, just it's so fun and being able to play with stories and just creating. I think that's, I think I get the most out of that because it's so open-ended and, creating new worlds is really fun.
Nice. So do you see this as is that an ongoing finite series or do you want to just keep going until
It's ongoing. Yeah, I'd like to have it keep going. This is like my baby that would just keep running as long as it can go. And if people keep backing it, people keep supporting it, I'll keep producing. So
Excellent, man. Well, this is great. How's the reception been?
feedback's been great. All the reviews, there's been some things here and there which I totally agree with. It's my first time writing, so I got my ear to the ground, just listening to what I need to work on. But everybody's said they really liked everything. So yeah,
Great.
really
Well,
good.
I'm gonna go ahead if it's okay with you. If anybody is in the chat and wants to ask Eric any questions, let us know. You have to leave what time? In about-
I can stick around for 5-10 more minutes or so till I hear my baby crying for me.
How many kids do you have?
I have 4. My youngest, she's almost a year and a half, so she's pretty young.
That's sweet. All right, well let's play your trailer, and then I'll open up your package, and then we'll have Eddie. So let me line up your trailer here. And so if people want to sign up to your second campaign, it's on Indiegogo, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Okay, I think I put that in the link of the video description. So if you folks want to contact Eric or Eddie after the show, just go to the description and you guys can support these guys. So here's Shadow Sentry's promo video. I think this is for your first campaign.
Correct.
Eric, do you have a video for the second one yet or not yet?
Haven't worked on it yet. Still
Okay.
Something to do.
All right, here we go, guys. Pretty sweet, man.
Cool. Yeah, I get
Pretty
excited
sweet.
about that trailer. Now I got to make a new one.
I have my ear pods on. It's like total stereo, and all the sound effects come out really crisp and everything. Did you edit that, or did?
I did. Yeah.
Nice.
I
Really
have like a
nice,
little
Eric.
little software on my my little Surface Pro, and I was able to put that together. So
Very nice. You're a man, a jack of all trades.
yeah, master of none.
So I'm going to go ahead and make myself big. And this is what Eric sent me. I've already kind of pre-opened it, but we worked out a little barter deal. He said he'd be happy to trade me his book for my book. So I sent him X-Farce, as I said earlier. So it came in this nice Gemini mailer from Eric in San Diego. You guys like to use this blue tape, you artists. I noticed that.
It's not quite as sticky as like some boxing tape.
Very nice. Okay. So what kind of numbers did you do on this, Eric? Was it more than you expected, or?
I mean, I was hoping for, more of a response as far as getting more backers, but as long as I hit like 15,000, I knew I could just, get it done. I could produce it and, not have any issues that way. So I was really thankful for that. So, and then after the campaign closed, the in demand, I got 10 more thousand. So
Wow.
super happy. And we
That's
hit
great.
over 500 backers. So I can't complain at all.
What was your best-selling cover out of the variants?
Out of the variants, probably close to Kevin Sharp's and Weldon's. I think Kevin sold a little bit more.
Okay. So this is your book, and it's all perfect bound. You know, feels like a nice, stiff graphic novel. I mean, for a first try, I mean, just you and Eddie are make me just. I mean, you guys are really doing great work, and if this is what you're coming out of the gate with, I mean, this holds up to anything that in my opinion, any of the major publishers are doing. And
thanks, man.
Eric, you could work. I'm sure have you been offered any jobs for anybody else after this came out? I mean,
I've had some people ask. I'm just so busy, working on the next book that I haven't been able to, accept any new work.
Yeah.
Although I am working on a series that I kind of started before this called Samson. It's like a biblical adaptation from a friend of mine. And so I'm finishing that up right now, as well as working on book 2.
Wow. So your goal is 2 pages a week is what you said, right?
Correct. Yeah.
That's pretty good. I could see why it takes you a while, because you have a lot of cool detail in your work. And is it Eric Weathers that did your lettering?
He did. Yeah.
He did? Oh, cool.
Yep.
Yeah, Eric's a good dude. I think I don't know if he lettered Eddie's book or not. I'll have to ask him. But this is a great looking product, my friend. How much was the tier on this? Like 25 or
20 unsigned, and then if you wanted it signed, just $5 extra for 25.
Okay, gotcha. And this is no longer available, or can you still get it on your website?
It's no longer available. When I launch book 2, then I'll have new copies of the first issue, but I actually have a different cover. It's a nice homage to Art the Bear's Cable #1, actually.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And you gave me a lot of cool swag stuff in here. There's a highborn. Is this a sticker or a sticker?
Yeah. Sticker.
And then you've got the Hellborn one.
Mm-hmm.
And then a nice, wow, this is a nice metal bookmark, my friend. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's sweet. Yeah, you're the one that told me about metal prints online. So this is actually the very first metal printed comic book related object I've ever seen. It's beautiful.
Yeah, they're really cool.
And then you were offering covers, like cover prints too?
Correct. Yeah, I have those. I did those on white metal, so it's a little bit different from what you have, but I'll show you that after you're done.
Okay. Nice.
And
then a few different trading cards, one more trading card.
Martian.
So what did you learn in this campaign? If you were gonna, if you were gonna do things over again, is something you would have done differently, or are you pretty happy with the way that it all came out?
Gosh, I know there's a lot of things I've thought of, but now that you're asking me, I'm like, oh, I don't know.
Okay, that's all right.
It was definitely a learning process. Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about it more because I got another campaign coming up.
we have a nice comment on here that said that cover reminds me of Alex Ross, so that's a nice compliment, buddy.
Thank you.
So, well, Eric, is there anything else you want to add before? I know you probably have to take off and take care of your baby, but you've been a great guest. I could talk to you for a lot longer, obviously, but
I know,
it's been a half hour already.
I wish I could hang out with you guys more. I would just add, if you go into the book 2 campaign and sign up now, you get the number 3 trading card. I'm going to do them in sequential order. So if you don't sign up, you're not going to get that if you do back. So just a little incentive to sign up. And then also you could see the cover for book 1 that I'm going to release of Art the Bear's homage to Cable #1. So check that out. And I think that's it, man.
Okay, great. Eric, you've been awesome. I think I have a little link to your campaign. I guess I didn't put a banner on there, but it should be in, like I said, the description.
Cool.
And we had a great time with you, sir. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, man.
And when is your book supposed to launch?
June 29th.
Okay,
So,
June 29th. And then the release date you're shooting for is?
for the fulfillment, or
Yeah, for the fulfillment.
I'm probably going to be like, I'll go for like 9 to 10 months out. The first
Okay.
campaign was a little over a year, so I'm just going to go a little under that. I think I could do it a little quicker, but I don't want to go
Cool.
too short and leave everybody hanging. So
Yeah, I read on your update that you had like a little bit of a shipping delay. There was some kind of
way unexpected.
Yeah, how long did that kind of put you back?
Probably a good month,
Ooh.
plus a few weeks. So once they opened up shipping, or I guess after the election, I think all of China's imports started coming in, and so the ports here in LA and all those areas were just jam packed. They had boats waiting in the water to dock and unload their shipments. So, and I got my books from South Korea. A friend of mine gets his stuff printed there, and so I went with him. And yeah, just not expected at all.
Oh wow. Well, hopefully that won't be the problem next time. I hope everything goes smoothly. So Eric, thank you for your time, buddy.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys.
Enjoy your weekend. Yeah, thanks, buddy. Take care.
All right, guys.
Bye-bye. All right. Eddie, you're on mute, my friend. There you are.
Oh,
How you doing, bud?
I'm doing great, man. I got Eric's Shadow Sentry books myself, and I got those metal prints. I think I backed for all the variants just because they were all very cool, and so I got that. Yeah, very happy with that book.
Well, I wanted to say thank you first, Eddie, because you are such a huge supporter of so many creators' books, including my own, and you've been supporting our first 2 projects. And I kind of ran into you just last year, seeing you appear on shows, pre-hyping the book, and now I've kind of seen you come into fruition, and everybody's just talking about how your packaging and your fulfillment and just how you kind of raised the bar. So tell me, what is like a typical, I know this isn't your full-time job doing comics. So what is your life like? What is, kind of tell us what the day of Eddie's kind of like.
My day is long. I get up about 3:50, 3:45.
Oh my goodness.
I'm out the door at 4:30, start work around 6. After about 8 to 10 hours, I leave work. I get home anytime between 3 and 5, maybe 5:30, depending on what I have to do. Come and answer a couple quick emails. If I have any packages now, I'll try to get them to the post office. Then, try to have dinner with the wife and kids, because they're probably usually, now that summer's here, sometimes they're out. But when they're here, we mess around and play and talk a little bit. And then my comic book night doesn't really start until like 9, and I don't go to sleep till maybe midnight or later. It's not.
Oh my goodness!
It's not very healthy. I don't recommend it.
So you're just basically running on about 4 hours of sleep a day.
Yeah.
You poor guy. What's your main job? I think I heard maybe are you in construction or?
Yeah, I work for Local 73 here in Chicago. It's a heating and cooling, basically. So it's air conditioning, and do all the duct work. We're on high-rise buildings and hospitals and all kinds of things.
Gotcha.
But I like it. I've been doing it for 21 years now in June. So
you don't look that old, man. How old are you, Eddie?
I'm 45.
No way.
Yes,
you
sir.
don't look 45. No way. How old are your kids?
11 and 8.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I'm
an old man.
Good. What do your kids think about comics?
It depends on the comics. If it's a My Little Pony comic, they're all into it. But I'd be like, hey, check this comic book out. Oh, cool. And then go back to playing with dolls.
So you got 2 girls?
Yes, I have 2 girls.
Okay, gotcha. That makes sense. That makes sense, Eddie. So, what's your favorite thing about doing comics? I asked Eric this question, but you seem like you're more of a packager, because I kind of looked at your the campaign, and you've got different people working on this big project, and
I've always tried to, like, almost to a flaw, be organized and try. You know, I'm less organized than it seems, but I try. Like back when I was in late high school, early college, you know, community college, with my friends, when we tried to do the comic book, like we would have meetings, and I would have like, okay, here's your assignment for this week. You know, it was like back then it seemed cool. Now it's like I think I wasted too much time trying to be a manager and not just trying to do. You know, you spend too much time managing and instead of trying to make comic books. And I see that now with all the meetings, you know, for work. Like we're gonna have a meeting. Okay, what's the meeting about? We're gonna have a meeting about what we're gonna do at the next meeting. So now it's like I just use the organization part to try to streamline this process, which I'm still learning. But I'm with Eric. The best part is creating new stuff, and the hardest part is getting those ideas out fast enough, you know, without sacrificing the ideas you're already working on.
Right.
Know?
Okay. So, you know, your book looks amazing, but I was trying to scroll down to the very bottom because I think you show what the whole book is based on, or maybe I'm not on that right page, but this was based on a character you did way back when you were younger, right?
Yeah, well, I did a book in 2005, but the character was just like it's always been my thing to do a wolf book. A friend of mine had his little dog he would walk the streets with, and you know, I created this dynamic between this Mexican ninja and a werewolf. It's just
awesome.
Kind of based on my friend, and then like, you know, the werewolf thing kind of took shape a little more. So I started dealing with like creating the background for that world, and then I just wrote it. I would write it during third shift at work because it was so boring. I was just a button pusher, you know.
How long have you been working on this campaign? Because it looks like it's a labor of love and just everything.
This campaign. So when I started this, I started looking for my artists in August of 2019.
Okay.
So once he agreed, like I think the first art piece that we had was done in October of 2019. Then I was like, hey, I really need you to be on for this whole thing, you know, because it's long, and I've had people, you know, back down before after you know 6 or 7 pages, and you know, you're small. It's like people could say, well, you need to go after them, or you don't really want to go after people that don't really want to work for you. So,
right.
You know, but my artist Lucas and Julian, like they're just a great bunch of guys. So, you know, they're not professional in that they haven't been doing it for a long time, but they're very professional in the way they handle business.
I mean, I hadn't heard of them before, but just this quality, you know, the line art. Are they traditional working, or do they work digitally?
They work. So the main artist Lucas, he does digital. He doesn't really do traditional. He has done like where he creates the blue line and then inks them for me, because I've bought original art from him, which I'm gonna put up eventually in maybe a month's time. I'll have some tiers with original art. It might be a whole separate campaign, like a second chance deal.
Gotcha.
But the guys that did the side stories in there, I think they're more pencilers, and they do traditional, and they're both like the guy who did that Panther versus the bear, the Hammer Strike versus Night Strike, right below that picture. Well, actually, everything you've seen there is traditional art.
Okay. Nice.
So
Eddie, how do you find? I mean, you know, we have the internet now, so it's easier to go on sites, whether it be Facebook or, you know, DeviantArt or whatnot. How did you find a lot of your talent?
Oh man, I didn't even have social media. I didn't have Twitter. I didn't have anything. So I went on Reddit, you know, just looking at art forums, and I found quite a few artists, and I saw Lucas Meyer. I saw some of his stuff. He had like 2 penciled pictures, and he's like, I'm an artist looking for work, whatever. And it was like from 2 years before I found him. I was like, let me just reach out, I'll put feelers out and see if he answers. And he sent me an email back, and he's like, I'm interested in the project. Tell me more about it. And, once he was like, yeah, I could do that. I was like, okay. So we agreed on something. And I was like, well, I'm looking for a colorist. He's like, hey, I know a guy that I work with usually, and that was Giuliano. And then, after Giuliano signed on to be the colorist, then it was like, hey, I know a couple guys that might want to do pinups for you because they saw the stuff. And then those guys ended up doing the side stories for me and some pinups. So it's just like
super cool.
Everything started coming together very, very, smoothly.
What are we looking at here? Is this
that
who's
is
artwork?
That's Rob
Willis
and Kyle Ritter.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah,
I know these guys aren't cheap. You have a lot of expensive guys that I've used, like Preston and Rob, and the colorists. But are Lucas and your Giuliano, are they American?
They're from Brazil. So everybody.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I have a couple guys that were here. The Michael Woods, who doesn't get a lot of mention, not by design. Sometimes I forget that, to mention everybody else because we talk about everybody. But Michael Woods did the side story for, for the strength and numbers story that's in there that Gabriel drew. And he did a bang up job. I'm hoping to work with him again.
Cool, bud.
But Giuliano and them, all that whole crew is from Brazil. It's like six guys from Brazil. Nice.
Nice. They must have a lot of talent. There's a lot of untapped talent. I've talked to, back in the 90s, I would work with guys from the Philippines, and they went on to do big things like Lionel Francis Yu was one of the guys that I first published, and another guy named Jay Anacleta who does stuff for Image and Marvel and DC. But it seems like lately a lot of people are from Brazil or maybe Indonesia. It's so cool now with the internet being able to, collaborate much more easier than the old days when you didn't really have.
Yeah, I'm sure you remember. This is how I used to try. I would wait every year the comic convention would come, and sometimes I would be able to go, sometimes I wouldn't, and you'd spend 3 days looking for artists, and then you'd wait a year to see if anything.
Right. Right, man. So, do you still have the first thing that you did? I think you said it was 05.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know if you've opened your package, but you'll see what's in there.
Oh, okay, cool.
So,
well, let me go ahead and play your trailer, and then I'll open the package, and we can just kind of. Would that be all right with you?
Yeah, not a problem. I did send you a DM with the second trailer, which is.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah, it's kind of. There's supposed to be a voiceover in the beginning, so once I do the second chance campaign, kind of with the damaged books and the original art, there'll be a voiceover. So it's the new trailer because the first one was kind of a placeholder.
Okay.
And, I just never got around, but that's the new trailer.
Did you send it to me on Twitter?
Yes. I'm sorry.
Okay, here it is. Okay, no problem. So let me see how I can do this. I haven't. I think I can try to load it up here first. So give me a minute, guys, and I'll share the screen once So I'm going to stop sharing the campaign.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go to the YouTube link that you sent me, and I think I have to make sure that the audio is on.
Okay.
Did you just release this? I mean,
no, it's actually Ted Zagaro did it. And like I said, I've been meaning to get a voiceover on, and things are not falling into place with that. But that is the newest trailer. It's not so much different, but the art is all from this book. Some of the other stuff in the last trailer isn't in this campaign. So.
Okay. Gotcha, man. So I think this is it, right? The Sovereign Wolf promo?
Yes.
2. Okay. So let's go ahead and hit play. And if you don't hear the sound, let me know. I'm going to try to turn this up.
There's no sound for about 20 seconds, so
Okay.
like brief. So there.
Oh, that's sweet.
No,
That's
man,
sweet, man.
Ted
I
is
like that a
really
lot. You
Thank
know,
you.
when I watch your trailer and I see the wolf, there used to be that video game called Killer Instinct that had the wolf in it, and I think of your wolf when I see it.
Man.
It just brings out that kind of one-on-one fighting game vibe that I grew up on. Are you a video game fan, Eddie? Or
I liked video. The last video game I played religiously was Tomb Raider 3 for the first PlayStation, but or for PlayStation 2. But I used to love it. Like Sovereign Wolf, part of the lore spans from Altered Beast. Like you would kick
there you
the
go,
villains,
Ultra Beast,
and
right?
then you'd collect the spirit balls, and they would strengthen you up, power you up, you know.
Yeah,
And then eventually became a wolf or a dragon or whatever. So yeah, so that's kind of, there's a little bit of influence from that video game in the story.
Okay.
And yeah, like all those Rampage, remember Rampage the werewolf?
Yeah,
and all
they
that.
climb up the building and like wail on it, and I love that game.
I just love comic book stuff, like just, you know, stuff that you've done, stuff that there's so much good stuff out there now that I just try to keep my head above water, you know. It's crazy.
if you're in your mid-40s, you must. How long have you been collecting?
Oh man, like as old as I'd say 5 years old, as young as 5 years old. My grandmother, like we used to collect the, you know, you'd get the Coke bottles and you'd be able to turn them in for like 10 cents. Oh yeah, Eric, I'm 45. So you'd get 10 cents a bottle. So you would turn in like the I guess the 10 pack of the bottles, and you'd get $1. And the corner store by my house used to have, it was like a little kid. There was like one for boys, one for girls, whatever. But it was a mystery bag. It was just a brown paper bag with candy in it, like a toy, and it was all the comic books that they couldn't sell with the covers ripped off.
All right, yeah.
For $1, you'd get like 3 comic books, some penny candies, and like a little, you know, like a little parachute G.I. Joe or Armor, you know.
Cool, man. That's awesome.
Like for $1. So that's how I got into comics. And then, you know, obviously, my parents weren't much older than me. My parents had me young, and so like my uncles were even younger than my parents, so they were all into the, you know, the geeky stuff, Star Wars and all that. So yeah, man, I had a lot of good influences around me, and it just took off. I never gave it up. I tell my kids too, don't be afraid if you like something. Like if you want to play dolls and your friends ain't playing with dolls, doesn't matter. Just do what you like, you know.
What was your favorite title growing up as a kid?
Spider-Man. No matter what, Spider-Man is my guy.
Any particular like art writer team that stands out as your favorite?
Oh man, I just like, obviously, you know, you get the mid 80s, people would say it's like jank art, but like, you know, Ron Friends and all those guys, like just the how would you say, the journeyman, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I was a huge fan of Rick Leonardi.
Oh yeah, Cloak and Dagger. I remember him on Cloak and Dagger.
I have every Cloak and Dagger. That was probably one of the first comic books I bought by myself with my own 75 cents was a Cloak and Dagger with the Spider-Man in it. So
Yeah.
like,
Do you watch the series that they came out with?
I did not watch the Cloak and Dagger series.
No.
It's hard for me to watch anything, just not because I don't want to, just time. Especially now,
Sure.
you know, and
Sure.
now that it's summer, the kids are out. So, but yeah, I was following everything I could, you know, superhero wise up until maybe a year ago. And
Yeah.
like I said, not by design, it's just time. Comic books, you know?
What's the dream, Eddie? Do you want to try to make publishing like your full-time job, or do you just see it as a fun hobby to, you know, your main 9 to 5? I mean, everybody I'm sure would love to make a living off it, but I know it's hard. It's hard to
So I'm sorry, Don. I keep.
Okay. You're fine. You're fine, bud.
No, this is my 5-year plan. You know, I did want to do something for myself. It is a passion of mine. I hope that it becomes a business. I'm gonna do it for as long as I can, you know, comfortably, where I'm not putting my family, you know, my family's inheritance or whatever into the ground. But like, as long as we're able to live the life we're living, and I can put that out, another book here and there after, I'm just going to continue to do it. But in 5 years, if I'm able to, you know, take a winter off here or there and produce more comics during that time, then that's what I'm going to do. My goal is to have something I could pass on to my kids also, you know, like, if just to have a catalog of things that, you know, they can print here and there if they like or choose or whatever they want to do with it, you know, just have something to hand down to them. I think is pretty cool, you know.
What's your wife think of this? Does she like comics, or she
is not a comic book fan. She's happy for me. She has her own business. She does jewelry. So she works from the house also. So we're both driven to produce our own product and to work for ourselves. But yeah, she's happy for me. She's like, I think I'm gonna quit my job and work for you. I'm like, no, it's just like, don't do that.
Oh, so you did all the fulfilling. I know you posted pictures of boxes and you know, the process of getting the printed copies in. So did you do all this yourself out of your house, or?
Yeah, my wife helped me with a lot of things. Like, she, you know, obviously the bubble wrap, you know, if I'm doing it one by one, she would cut the bubble wrap. She offered help to do a lot of things, but as an OCD guy about making sure you guys get the best product, like a lot of my books came out, they weren't damaged, but there's a lot of little defects that I know if I would see and say, nah, I don't know about this book, you know. So and then, like, if I had my brother or anybody else working on it, they wouldn't probably not pick out those things. So they would get packaged, and then, you know, I would probably hear about it later. So now that they kind of know what to look for, you know, we can do this. But yeah, it wasn't that bad. Most of the I would say headache was waiting for certain things to fall in line. Like, I had boxes that were late, but after it all went pretty smooth. So afterwards,
are you all done? Did you fulfill all like 500?
Yeah, I actually just sent out 2 orders today. As they come in, they go out. Nice,
awesome.
Thank you
for yeah, this is great. So I got this I think about a week ago, and I really wanted to open it, but I thought either I want to honor Eddie, and if I can get him on the show at the same time, I think that's a little more exciting than just watching an unboxing video, which, you know, a lot of people are doing. Has anybody had you on while you're, you know, while they're opening it up?
Not while they opened it. I was on with Leroy and George last night. I'm sorry. And
you're fine.
You know, they did a review and did an honest review. And then they said, hey, we'd like to have you on to talk about it. And so I was on with them, which is really cool. I was on with K Manifesto and Dojo Kun with Brian and Kevin on their show with Clint Stoker and Professor Murph. So they kind of talked about, it was kind of like building your brand, but They gave a little review also.
Yeah, I saw. So, Eddie, obviously, there's been a few people that are kind of doing these cool boxes. What was your inspiration to kind of make yours stand out like this?
I just was looking for boxes that I can fit books and posters without crushing the poster so much, and without folding a poster. So I was looking for custom mailers and stuff, and then this website that I found, it was like, okay, the price of the box to add with or without art is the same. So I loaded that thing with images. I wanted to do original art for it, but I'm not even gonna get into that. Things weren't working out.
That's all right.
But yeah, so we ended up doing that cover for the next book, for the next campaign. The box will have exclusive art, and I will tell you this, Don: if you take a hair dryer on a low heat setting, and you take it to that tape, there's a good chance it comes off without ruining the.
Nice.
So,
thank you. Yeah, I love this.
But I know it works. I know it works on a lot of things when we do it at work. So
I'm cutting this very, very carefully. So Eddie, did you get your book printed in the States, or did you go abroad?
Yeah, I went with Mix'em. And the printer, they're kind of like a print broker. So they go.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
My printer was up in Wisconsin, which was maybe 4 hours away from where I live. Was my printer. They did a great job. There were some mix-ups with a couple things, but for the most part, if we can fix those issues, then I have no problem going back with Mix'em. They did all my my prints and my trading cards, I believe, or not my trading cards, my posters they did, and they did a couple of the prints, and I'm very happy with them, so I'll be using them.
Cool. Okay, so I'm carefully cracking this baby open. Someone asked, can you share where you got your boxes printed, or is that kind of a trade secret?
So Apex Comics, if you want to DM me, I can tell you all the negatives and the pluses and minuses of dealing with this particular company. I don't want to bad mouth them on stream, but
wow.
But it was one of those things where there could have been better customer service, but yeah.
Gotcha. Look at this, guys. It says contents of this box were inspected and approved by Eddie. How cool is that? And with your little signature on it. That's awesome, man. You seem like you're a pretty hardcore customer service guy.
Oh man, I
just want to make sure.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that everybody was happy, because number one, I can't guarantee that everybody will like my story or the art or whatever, but I can do my best to make sure that you're at least not going to get a damaged product, or you know what I mean? So I tried to do that. Have
you had any complaints about damaged stuff yet, or not really?
I have not. I've had one person say that the poster was kind of smashed a little, and I understand because they probably ordered a heavier package with like 3 books. So as it gets shifted around, I could see it getting a little bent, which I'm already working on that problem. I'm looking at cardboard tubes to put the posters in with the plastic, so maybe that can help a little.
Okay.
But yeah, I haven't had any complaints yet, knock on wood. And
nice.
But if there are, I do want to hear about them. And
cool.
That's it.
So you sold like over 500 backers, correct?
Yeah, I think the orders that came in today were like 5. After refunds and that, and certain people changing their minds and going higher or lower, I think we ended up with like 528 or 530, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy.
This is nice, man.
Oh,
I like the extra touch with the bubble pack, and then you bagged and boarded everything. Nice. I just had to do that with X-Farce, so I know.
Yeah.
Do you like the Scotch tape, or do you think next time you'll go with like the self-adhesive bags?
I'll tell you why I don't like the self-adhesives, because when you pull them off, the static, they stick on your hands, and it's like you're shaking them off the whole time. But also, I think they kind of wear off after time, and I think you can replace the tape. So I think after a while, if you keep opening them, which I know a lot of people don't, but as you stuff more stuff in the bags, the bag that sits on that self-adhesive, sometimes it's higher up, so it doesn't fit, and you end up putting tape on it anyway. So I just found it much easier to put the tape on there.
I gotcha.
My preference.
I see your point. Yeah, this is nice and jam-packed, Eddie. So this is 100 pages, is that correct?
I think it's 112 or 114 pages.
Wow, that's beautiful, man.
Oh, thank you.
So did you do were there variant covers on this kind of trade paperback level, or did you? Okay.
So you got the Rob Willis and Kyle Ritter, which is called the Ferocious Five, which is those 5 characters there, the main characters of the heroes, the clans of yesterday. You'll see the lion in the second book.
Beautiful.
And then there was the Preston Acevedo, the alpha cover, and then the Bad Moon Rising. So
this must have been for a sketch option right here on the.
Yeah. So
on your.
So you guys can, if you see anybody in a convention, you get someone to do a drawing or whatever. I tried to. Sweet. I got that idea from EVS.
Yeah. The Cyberfrog books. Very nice. You dedicated it to your dad.
Yeah.
That makes me sad. My dad passed a couple of years ago, so I totally hear. When did your dad pass away?
He passed in 2015. It was 2 days after his 57th birthday.
Oh my gosh, he was only 57 years old.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's like I'm like 57, so I can't imagine losing someone that young. Was it just kind of unexpected, or?
Yeah, it was not expected at all. Like I came home, and I'm not gonna make everybody all miserable.
Yeah,
but he taught me everything. You know, he was a great father, and he was always supportive of me from my first book to that book. He didn't even know I was making this book. His death kind of made me see things like, hey man, it's gonna be now or never. So that's kind of what shot me into gear. And then Comicsgate, and I was like, there's no better time than now.
Oh man, is your mom still alive?
Yes, my mom is probably one of my biggest supporters, and I love her to death too.
What's her name?
Her name is Carol.
Oh, that's sweet, man. Does she live close to you?
Yeah. So far she's got a new house. It's not so far. She moved out of the city. So yeah, we're all doing pretty good.
Wow. This is beautiful, man.
Thanks, man.
Everything
it's all my team.
It's what? All your team? Yeah.
Team. It's not me. It's not.
You did a great job. I mean, I know what it's like just to do the whole assembly line thing and corral everybody. It's a lot of work just on X-Farce, which is only a 48-page book, and 30, pages of it was already pre-existing material. I had 18 pages, but I had like a dozen people working on those 18 pages. And it was so hard just to get everybody, on the same timeline and stuff.
Yeah.
So I totally respect you doing, a big project like this. And you came out on, did you ship on time or pretty close to it?
The fulfillment was set for May. It said books start shipping in May, which we did. I think I would have liked to have everybody their tracking numbers by the end of May, and but the last tracking number of the original backers went out, I think, on the 9th of June. So it wasn't that late. I thought I was actually going to be early, but there were a couple things that happened a couple mishaps that some of them were in my control, some of them weren't. But either way, I tried to get everybody out everything on time. So, if anybody's upset, just let me know, and I'll do my best to make everything, right.
So I'm going to show people kind of the stuff that the extras that you packed. Is this a sticker?
That is a crack and peel sticker. I think in the future I won't put the laminate on it. I did not know how that was going to look. Okay. I think matte finish would have been better, but that's Bogdan's Digital Art. That's the guy who is doing.
He was in our chat. Yeah, he was in our chat a moment ago.
Yeah,
so that's cool.
He's done quite a few art pieces for me that will be revealed over time. So that's pretty awesome. That's page 1 of the comic book.
Cool. Wow. Amazing. Did you grow up liking like the Universal monsters or?
Oh yeah. Growing up, I would spend the weekend with my grandmother and we'd be watching Svengoolie and all the Godzilla movies and all that. So yeah, man, it was great. So Universal monster movies, I still have all the VHSs. I think I bought them all, But,
so this is a checklist of what you can get on your first campaign.
So that's the checklist that pretty much of everything that was produced for the campaign, not including the 9-card trading card set that was a stretch goal. But yeah, it's just an extra print that was basically thrown in there because I think one of the stretch goals was spot UV, which was hard to do on a cover type that I did. Mm-hmm. I won't say hard, but they suggested other things. So it's like, well, instead of doing that, which, I'll just throw in another print. And it was the checklist print. So I hope people are happy with that.
Yeah, I think you might have set the record for the amount of extras that I've got so far on a campaign. This is pretty amazing. Yeah. So these are little stickers, full sheet.
Yep.
And these are by 6 a.m. you said?
Yeah, 6 a.m. Nice. Comics. He did, I think his name is Mark. And he did he did all of my characters all at once because I kind of, said, hey, if you got the time. So he did those characters and he also did the second set for the second book. So there were supposed to be only 6 for this campaign as promised for the stretch goal, but we gave all the main characters and the title sticker. So
gotcha.
And then those were printed. Those were actually made by the Diaz brothers. So if anybody's looking for stickers, you can talk to those guys. Yeah.
That's cool. Eddie got to grow a skin. Somebody giving you a hard time. Shout out, Hawk, be nice now. So this was a real cool thing I liked was you did kind of a cool cardboard. What do you call these?
Those are the blockheads, man. Here.
Blockheads, right. Show us. Yeah, let's see what it looks like big here, Eddie. Oh, that is too cool.
He did a great job on these, man. I love these things. Like I got all of them all the campaigns that I have them, I've built them and I just want more. So yeah. So what I'm going to do is when I post my next update, I'm going to tell people to be on the lookout because when I figure out how to make a video, I'm going to make a video to show people how to make these.
Yeah. So I like that a lot. I mean, cool. I have quite a few Funko Pops and I thought, boy, it would be so cool to get, a Funko Pop of my characters, but that's way out of the budget of stuff. But that seems like a good, reasonable alternative, kind of have a standing 3-dimensional figure of your character.
So cool. And they're so easy to like, they're so like, it's a cool thing. It's a craft for kids. I think anybody that has the patience for comics, that's into comics instead of just quick video games only. You know what I mean? Anybody that has the patience and the mindset to take the time and read a comic book, I think would enjoy crafts like that. So it's just a super cool thing to add, and then, display on your table or your desk.
Yeah. Yeah. How long did it take from the design?
I'm sorry.
The design. Oh, that's okay, Eddie.
From the design, he actually did it pretty fast, and the company that printed them. I'm sorry, my battery.
That's all right. You're fine.
The company that printed them is I think they're in Germany, and
Wow.
they got to my house very fast. Like
Cool.
like they did a good job on those also. Those are very good quality.
Yeah,
You know?
that's nice. I'll have to talk to you about, maybe in the future if I wanted to do that, how to.
Yeah, of course, man.
you
You,
could-
gotta
you could
talk
hook-
to Blockheads because that guy, he puts out amazing work, man.
Is he
So-
pretty reasonably priced or a little pricey?
Oh yeah, we'll talk. He's very
Ah.
reasonably priced.
Okay,
But,
cool, man. So
yeah.
the last but not least, actually, I got a couple things that are in the campaign. There's a nice set of, these are the 9 trading cards, right?
Those are the 5 trading cards.
Oh,
The
5
set,
trading cards.
We didn't hit the stretch goal
Okay.
for that set, so I got to reach out to people and talk on how I want to get those out. And I have said, even though the campaign, like the main 60 days, has closed, I had said if we do reach that 30K, that regardless of when we hit it, that I would, even if I have to reship stuff out,
Wow.
I'll do it. But the campaign's kind of going to close next week, maybe, just so I can focus on the second campaign.
Gotcha, man. Wow.
But
This
yeah,
is a lot of bang for your buck, dude.
Yeah.
I know you probably didn't make a lot of money on this campaign because you spent it all on your customers.
Not at all.
That's pretty sweet, man. So, what's your plan for the second book? Are you signing up yet, or do you have a pre-launch, or what's the?
I don't have a pre-launch. I just showed off some stuff yesterday. We're about 25 pages. Art-wise, line art is finished, not included. So we're probably about 40 to 43 pages. I can't remember. I think it's like 43 pages total, including pinups and behind-the-scenes stuff for the second book. We have a Von Klaus story.
Nice.
A side story that is going to be taking form probably in its own book, like its own supplemental book.
Awesome.
But yeah, I'm looking to at least start the pre-sign up, the pre-launch page, maybe in August, and then I'm looking at maybe October to launch the campaign if I'm lucky. But that's just a guesstimate date. I want to hold off as long as I can to get more of the book done. You know what I mean? Like I don't want people to wait. I know this campaign closed on January 22nd, and so technically it was only a few months, that you had to wait, but the less time in between the close of the campaign and getting you guys your books, that's what I'm kind of gonna thrive for now.
Yeah. Totally cool, man. I don't like having to wait like a year either, so I totally.
Your stuff comes out quick.
It does. X-Farce we came out on time, but
did you mail this before I backed it? Did you?
I know.
Back it.
BEARDZZERKER, we're running a little bit behind, but it's getting done. So last but not least, you did throw in the very first Sovereign Wolf Zero, which is beautiful.
Yes.
How cool is that? Did you write and draw this, or?
I wrote and lettered that. Don't look at the letters. Look away.
Okay.
But that story in there is remade into the new book. So it's kind of like a retelling with new art and colors. But my cousin Michael Morales drew that, and he helped with early designs. He helped me get my first comic book out. So he is forever near and dear to my heart. And here's a little teaser. Michael Morales, sometime hopefully this year or early next year, will be having his own comic book coming out.
Cool.
I hope
Awesome.
I hope he wants to publish with us, but I'm not going to tie him to it. I'm going to help him out as much as he wants. I'll give him all my leads and everything. And but yeah, his new stuff is way better. His story is awesome. So be on the lookout for him.
How did you distribute this, Eddie?
Oh, actually, I printed that. That's another long story, Don. But I printed so many of those, and so in 2005, when we were first making the book, we just had like promo posters and flyers. So we had a table at Chicago Comic-Con, or Wizard World as it would become, and we were promoting it and getting emails and all kinds of things. And then the book came out 2 months afterwards, and we mailed out a couple, but we sold about 800 books, Wow. So we were happy. And and then I had 13 boxes of comic books left over, and I'm still taking. But yeah, it was a over how would you say? I thought that I could sell more. Yeah, I got overzealous thinking I could sell more and I would be at conventions a little more, but there was so much good stuff. And this is not a knock on my cousin, but we were not, even back then in the indie scene, like we had a table and we thought we put out a good book. I'm proud of that book, but there's no way we could have competed with the talent that we had back then. Yeah. So
that's exactly what happened to me, man. When I was young and my first project, I printed way over. It was a kind of a Mad Magazine meets heavy metal, anthology called Overload. And me and my friends thought we were going to be the next, heavy metal generation. And I look back on that stuff and I go, oh man, it was so amateur.
It's funny. The printers get you because they're like, all right, you can have 1,000 books for $1,000, or you can have 2,000 books for $1,500. You can have 4,000 books for $1,700. And I was like, let's do that,
Yeah. Well, now, how many did you go with?
4,000 books.
So, well, this is still a good collector's item, man. You can probably put these on eBay now and get make your money back.
Well, I think I'm gonna give them out to as like it'll be an add-on perk, but it'll be for like $0. You know what I mean? Like, so the people that have it, they're not gonna get spammed with it again. Yeah. But the people that want it, they can have it.
Yeah. So this reminds me. Someone made a comment. Let me made him think of the '80s black and whites, and that's kind of where I grew up. And this seems just like what me and my buddies were doing before we, But obviously, you made a huge jump from this to the most recent Sovereign Wolf. I mean, if this is the first, real comic book that you've done, you're hitting it out of the park, my friend. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Is there anything else you want to say to the crowd, Eddie? I kept you a little bit longer than I anticipated.
No, don't worry, man. I set this time aside. I'm sorry that, it took us so long, or me so long to like decide on something, and to keep you waiting,
No worries, dude. No worries. This was just kind of like, I normally do my shows on Wednesdays, like I said, on the morning, and you're working. And I thought I need to just, do a special mail call show just for you and Eric. And, together, your two campaigns are so visually striking. I just thought this is two really good quality campaigns, and they deserve a push. And I think just based on Shadow Sentry 1, Sovereign Wolf 1, your next, issue number 2 books, I would imagine you guys should double what you did the first time. I'm hoping that.
I'm just glad I got feedback that people want to come back for the second one. One of the biggest, detriments of the first book was not having an editor. And I understand, like that having an editor, I realized it months ago, but, it's very important. And I know that now. So for the second book, there will be an editor. I'm hope there's going to be a lot more action, a lot more content. You're not going to lose the tchotchkes. but there'll be more like lore and story content. So and there'll be a better box.
Excellent. Well, yeah, you did a great. I mean, I'm definitely gonna look. You inspired me. I think that's what's so cool about being a creator is you kind of take what other people have done, and if you like it, you don't make an outright grab and steal their concept, but you try to just let it be a creative influence and learn and package. And you and Ethan and guys, that Aerith guy that's been on Bancroft lately.
Oh man, I just tweeted that guy. I want that. I can't believe I missed that project.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. The T-shirt and the whole 80s cassette thing. Eddie, you've been awesome. I know you've been on shows, and you're just a tireless promoter of good in the world for comics. And I wish you nothing but the best. You've been a joy to have on. Your product speaks, quality. It just oozes quality and attention to detail. So I commend you, my friend. You did a great job.
No, well, thank you, man. You've been an inspiration to a lot of us. You know that. So if you don't, now you do. I just want to thank guys in the chat.
Yes,
everybody for their support, for their kind words, and for watching these type of shows. To get the word out and supporting indie comics. I mean, I'm not one of those guys that hates the big two. I never did. Obviously, it's sad. That's what we grew up on. We don't want comics to fall, but it just there's no denying that the indie scene right now is more popular than it's been in quite some time. So I'm very happy to be part of that, and I'm looking forward to work with as many creators such as yourself down the road.
Cool, bud. Yeah, awesome. Well, Eddie, thank you, my friend. I hope you have a good rest of your weekend. Enjoy it with your family. I hope you get some R&R and get to sleep in tomorrow. Tell your wife and girls hello from us, and we'll see you around in the rest of the comic book world, my friend. Appreciate it. Okay, have a good one, buddy. See you later.
Don.
All right, that's Mr. Eddie Winkler, awesome guest. So that's going to wrap it up for us today, guys. I did want to mention on our own front on Parody Press, I am running a couple promotions. So if you go to xfarce.com, we're actually running a special where if you buy all 3 variant covers, you can get them for free shipping. And that's either worldwide or in the United States. So that if you're from another country, that's about a $30 savings. And then on BEARDZZERKER, which we're still in demand on, we're offering all 7 books for $77. And that's also with the discounted international shipping. So you can actually get all 7 books as well as shipping for under $100 US on BEARDZZERKER. So that's running for a limited time. I had a great time. Thank you again to the chat. Thank you for joining us. Apex, thank you for being here. Eddie, Eric, Candace, I'm sorry you missed a lot of the show, but definitely catch the refund. I mean, not refund, the replay. Shadowhawk, I'm picking out your comments because you're a little bit spicy today. I'll put a nice one. I'm going to buy your book, Apex. But you're slinging around some jargon there that I don't want to post, but I know you're just giving Eddie a hard time. That's too funny. Apex, thank you for being here. You're a great supporter of the channel. Guys, if you haven't liked and subscribed to the channel, please do so. Share it. I'm close to 2,000 subscribers. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do when I hit 2,000, but I'm pretty sure I'll do some giveaways because you guys know I like to do giveaways. Anyways, I will be on again Wednesday. I don't have my guests set yet for that. That's on Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern time, coffee and comics. And yeah, I had a great time, guys. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the rest of it. It's a hot day where I'm at, and I'm not used to 70 70-degree weather, and I'm actually wearing shorts today, so that I'm kind of a wimp when it comes to to humid weather. Shadowhawk, I'm just giving you a hard time. You know that. Anyways, guys, I had a great time, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. As I said, God bless, keep smiling, and we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.